Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Today we're going to be trying a special Ikitursa fit for T5 Gammas, not Firestorms, T5 Gammas. So in all my previous tests, or pretty much all my previous tests of Ikitursas in the Abyss, I've been going with the Firestorm because the Entropic Disintegrators do usually a bit more thermal damage than explosive damage. Exception I think is Occult and maybe Mystic. I think at least Occult does even explosive and thermal damage. So, but generally speaking, usually a bit more thermal, so that's why it would be a bit more favorable to go with the Firestorms, because reduced thermal resistance there. And then also in the Firestorms, they buff the armor HP pool, so it's going to make us more resistant to wrecking shots there, which is good because the Ikitursa is naturally a armor-based ship. However, PvE in EVE Online is often good by going shield-based, because shield-based ships, especially like large shield boosters, tend to be very powerful in EVE Online, or extra large runs especially, but you can actually achieve a very good amount of tank with the really big sized like shield boosters, and you can actually usually place them on smaller ships than they're actually intended to be made for. What I mean by that is that, for example, a large armor pair is pretty much, I've never seen anyone fly a large armor pair on a cruiser. Medium armor pairs are for cruisers, and that's really the way it works. If you want more tank, you go with 2 armor pairs. When it comes to shield boosters, however, I've seen people use extra large shield boosters on the cruisers, large shield boosters on cruisers, so you can usually put a lot bigger tank modules on cruisers. So what I'm trying to get at is that if we go with a shield-based Ikitursa, we are actually able to get a quite beefy amount of HP per second. 230 HP per second right here with this Gistum X-Type extra large shield booster. We've just got one multi-spectrum right here. Unfortunately, our resists are not the best. However, we've got an assault damage control, giving us some decent amount of buffer like overall. With the multi-spectrum, we get, some alright resists, especially in the explosive department. And this is the best thing about it. When we go in the gamma sites, we're going to see an increase in our shield HP pool. So we'll have a bigger shield pool and make us more resistant to wrecking shots. Obviously, this is not perfect because the shield pool will still not be that great. However, I think it might be enough to get through the T5 gamma, because the thing is, our shield HP per second is really big. It is over 600 HP per second. Plus, we've got the assault damage control. Plus, we also have the ability to use these Hardshell 1 and Synth Blue Pill boosters. We'll probably get around almost 700 HP per second with that if we use these boosters right here. And we are actually going to use these boosters because these are very cheap boosters. Synth Blue Pill costs 1 million. Hardshell costs 200k. 1.2 million, 1.3 million. Lasts a whole hour. Gives us a very significant boost to our shield boosting capabilities. We're going to be rocking some really good HP per second. But that's not the thing that makes me most excited about this fit. No, what makes me most excited about this fit actually is that we're able to put the quad Entropic radiation sinks. Because when we're using our mid slots for tank, we're using the mid slots for shields, we free up low slots. Now what does this do? It allows us to put more damage modules right here, as you can see right here. So I have really when it comes to Ikitursa fits, I've tended to see them often with 2 Entropic sinks, sometimes 3. I've never seen them with 4. This is the first time I ever really encountered a shield fit or fit Ikitursa that has 4 Entropic sinks, and this is going to give us some decent DPS. In fact, pretty rock solid DPS. Or I mean, still, you can never have good initial DPS in an Ikitursa, but 530 DPS with Tech 2 modules could potentially be upgraded as well if we were to use Mutaplasmids as well. Keep that in mind. We're going to be sitting here on 420 DPS initially. Remember, no implants, okay? No implants. We're not using any implants. We could get more DPS if we go with more implants. But we're going to go implantless right here just to see what's possible without implants. Potentially we can try in the future with implants. And that also shows you that there's a lot more potential as well when it comes to the tank. We could put high-grade crystals, get even more HP per second. We're going to go with the T5 Gamma because I think that T6 is a bit too rough for this tank. Also, just generally speaking, the Ikitursa, I don't like it in the T6. Time is a bit of a problem right there. So we're going to go straight in. Chaotic Gamma. Gamma. It's going to be pretty easy in the Triglavian sites. However, the Ephialtes cruisers are going to be a bit of a problem. It will take a bit of time. So that will be pretty much our best time test right there. The Ephialtes has got a tiny bit bigger, not by a big margin, but tiny bit bigger shield than armor. So it's affected a bit more by the Gamma side than it is by Firestorm sides. Firestorm buffs armor, Gamma buffs shield HP. It's going to be affected a bit more in the Ephialtes wave than in the Firestorm wave. But when we use the Occult right here, the high DPS ammunition, it's okay. It is a bit biased towards thermal damage. Let's see now here. It is very biased towards thermal damage here. So it's not the most optimal. As you can see here, we're doing a little bit more thermal than explosive. But we do explosive, and explosive damage is reduced in the gamma side. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Could possibly be just overall better to go in the Firestorm, because this change in the resist profile might actually like work against us and make it even worth to just go with the Firestorms instead, since we'd be doing more thermal damage, effectively doing more damage per second, and this fourth sync would probably not be worth it. But we'll see. I'm quite curious how this goes. Consume. Got basic drones right here. Warriors with the lights. Do not need a gecko group. Why is it got gecko? Explosive. We'll put this into medium. Ikitursa, I hope it goes good. The thing I think that might be problematic, or probably will be problematic, is the buffer. Our buffer is not big. It's not going to be a nice thing when we're getting these big shots. You can see here how much boosting it is per cycle, 800 HP per cycle. Our total shield pool is 1,500. So really half our buffer is boosted. More than half our buffer is boosted with one cycle, as you can see right there. And also another bad thing about going with the shield fit is that we don't have the mid slot for web. So we would probably have some problems with when it comes to the different applications of the small targets. It could be a bit of an issue right there. Okay, let's launch medium drones. You see our boosting is insane. How much boosting we've got. It's a bit rough when it comes to the buffer. Boom, 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 boom. It's just going to be bouncing back and forward with the resist profile right there. But a good thing about the leshak wave is that at least here it's not going to take a long time, because the leshaks usually would take a very long time in the Firestorm waves because of how their armor is buffed by quite a big margin. Here it's just that their shield HP is pretty high, otherwise it's alright. Starving, have we got any blinding? No, we're not going to blind. Renewing over here, starving over here. Oh, we need to use our Afterburner. Why am I not using my Afterburner? There we go. Okay, what is our range? We've got 46 kilometers. Go a little bit in at a bit of an angle, like this. I think it'll be a good direction right there. See, you're just boosting up like crazy. Boom, boost up like that. Really nice how just seeing those boosts. Oh, we're getting starved out a bit. By this starving leshak. But we're getting through him. We're getting through him. Okay, who is next? We've just got some standard ones, so it's alright. We'll just get close so we can use Occult eventually. Can actually put some Mystic on these drones, maybe. Can have our drones actually go for the little rogue drones and have the Entropic Disintegrator spool up damage on these leshaks over here. So zoom out, look around a bit at their surroundings. Can move in towards the enemies. Could maybe get some shots with Occult going on. Our drones seem to be able to apply decently to these little mini drones. Oh, we got a wrecking shot as well. We have got HP is 9k. It's not good for Kerberos Tyrannus. Kerberos Tyrannus I think does 9k damage from its wrecking shots. 2 of those in a row will pop us. So to be honest, I don't think this is really the best strategy right here. But it's at least fun to see what's possible. It's fun to see what's possible. The DPS will obviously be a lot better than, or a bit better, not a lot better, a bit better than standard variants of Ikitursas. Have drones go for him. Where is the transfer conduit? Over there, okay. Yes, let's go towards this. Maybe we can use Occult actually. Yeah, we'll use Occult. There we go, Occult. Drones go for him. I feel like we're taking, generally speaking, a lot less damage since I used my Afterburner, but also because we just have less enemies on the grid as well. See, now take out this one right here. That's why I went with the assault damage control, since our buffer is so bad. We need to have some form of buffer. Get the assault damage control instead. Can have our drone soften up this other one. Other leshak. Let's see what's our range. 19 kilometers. Okay, it's decent range. Can move around a bit. Keep up the transversal. What was our DPS now? 600 DPS. Yeah, it feels alright, but I mean, this is a leshak room. It is usually a pretty quick room anyway, so I wouldn't say this is particularly impressive, to be honest, all things considered. Our time is just 5 minutes. In fact, that's pretty average time, I would say, considering how hard we've gone in with the DPS right here. It's alright. It's alright. It's good to at least see what is possible right here. Interesting to see that the leshak rooms are not too quick. It would obviously been quicker if we would go for the Firestorm. Maybe it wouldn't have then again because their arm would be buffed up. Well, might have a bit better application or resist profile of damage to apply more damage in total. Recall drones. Make our way towards the transfer conduit. Completed in like 5 minutes. A little bit over 5 minutes in fact, because it's going to take us a bit of time to go to the transfer conduit. Move, 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 Ikitursa. Move, move, move. Jump into next room. So yeah, what is our shield boosting actually with those boosters in? Let's see what it is. 250 HP per second. Okay. Let's see how this goes right here. Got a Drakovac room. They're not usually that difficult, as far as I can remember. Pretty low DPS. Kikimoras can be problematic, but Drakovac's not too dangerous. Well, these particular Drakovacs, shining ones, doing target painters is alright. Go with the mediums. We go on these Damovics right here. See if we can do any damage to this guy. Oh, we get a glancing shot. That's pretty decent, actually. Oh, that's actually a decent application, all things considered. But then again, we have got a tracking pylon right here that is improving our application by quite a bit, to be honest. So I'm not going to be all hype about the application when we just got a shot with the tracking pylon right there. That is DPS 300, pretty bad. But we are using long range ammo. When we get in range to this whole horde right here, be able to use Occult. We hopefully go a bit better. Let's see if we can shoot this guy right here. Okay, got half our shield blapped, but then we get it boosted straight back up. Ghosting Kiki? Ghosting Kiki. It might be better, to be honest, to go with a large shield booster, like a Pith X one, and then instead use Solidifiers. What I mean by that is that with the Solidifier, it's going to increase the rate of our shield boosting, but also increase capacitor, because you know, if you have an increased rate of like shield boosting, then you're going to have increased capacitor needs. But I think that could be good. Like, I think effectively it might have the same amount of HP per second. Like, instead of using a large shield booster, I use a extra large. I use a large one. Put 2 solidifiers instead of a capacitor control circuit here. It might be good because the rate of like boosting will be higher, and it might be good for these kind of situations where we see our shield go suddenly down and then we just boost a lot up. So we're actually wasting a lot of shield boosting when we're boosting while we've got max shields. So I think it could perhaps be a little bit more effective in using the shield boosting if we have a bit shorter cycles. I'm not sure how it would work out though. I think the Pith-X and the Gistex type X large shield booster that we've got right now is still the most effective one, because it is a really powerful shield booster, this one right here. Oh, we got some good application right there. Wow, that application was insane how good that one was. Tracking assist, short range deviant automatic suppressor. He's too far away, so it's not going to affect us. But we have got medium range multi-body tracking pylon. Okay, let's go for this guy here. And actually have drones go for this other one, wither them down. I have Entropic Disintegrator spool up on these guys. Let's see if we can hit some decent DPS levels. Ikitursa is furious. Furious Ikitursa. It'd be fun to use like quad Entropic sinks with armor based. I don't know what you would be able to do there, but it'd be fun if it was possible, but you just don't have the slots to spare really. This shining Drakovac right here. He's not got any shields. It's because of the drones. Yeah, the drones have withered him down. Go towards this guy right here and spool up on this guy. Have the drones take care of him. I think they might be able to break his reps. Are they able to break his reps? 65, 67. Oh, the drones don't seem to be able to break the reps. 62, yeah, though. 62, 59. Okay. Seems like the drones are able to break the reps. So that's good. I thought they might not have been able to do that. Let's see now. What is our DPS right now. Almost 600. Getting good application as well, I think. Hitting shots, penetrating shots. Pretty decent right there. Yeah, the drones are able to get through this guy, but slowly. I don't think it's that effective use of DPS, to be honest, because a lot of it is going to be repped up, so a lot of it is like wasted. So I might just help these drones right here. Take care of this Drakovac. Make it so that we can all focus on this last one right here. Go towards the transfer conduit in the meantime. Move here. Start shooting here. Can use our... Got a little bit of a cruise under this asteroid right here. I actually recognize this asteroid shape quite a bit. It looks very similar to an asteroid I've seen once, and I got stuck in it once. I was using a Gila and T4 electric, I think it was, a long time ago. Long time ago. Well, not really a long time ago for many people, but for me it's a long time ago. Over 2 years ago. Almost 3 years ago, to be honest. 2.5 years ago, I'd say it was. And I was flying T4 electrics in the Gila, and it was the first time, or one of the very initial phase where I started to run the T4s and higher. I used to only do T3 before then, so it was very new to the T4s and higher, and it was very like uncharted territory for me, so I was very cautious. I remember going in it, and then I was panicking when I found out that when I was moving, I was not moving. I'm thinking, what's going on? I'm being webbed or something? I see that my ship is like clipping inside this asteroid that looks very much similar to this right here. Very unfortunate, but I managed to survive, managed to somehow get out of it. It was just a bit of a frightening minute I had right there. I was like, well, where's my ship going? Will I ever escape this? My billion-isk ship is going to get lost or something? It worked out in the end, Okay, what have we got here? Bethnic Abyssal Overmind. Okay. Let's see if we can get in range of this guy. Lock up these drones right here. Snipe him with Mystic. Have our Republic Fleet Valkyries go and do some damage. Maybe take out the drones on the way here. And then in the meantime we can have the drone or like attack these guys meantime while we're moving towards the overmind. I think they've got a pretty good transversal right now. I'm not able to hit them pretty well. It's not being helped by these tracking disruptors as well. It's a bit unfortunate right here. So I'm thinking it might be worth... Ooh, that's a big hit right there. A big hit right there. Yeah, some big hits going on. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, it doesn't seem like anything is really happening right here. So it might be well worth our time to go and attack the Bethnic Abyssal Overmind, how our drones go for the small stuff. This is a problem with the application here. We've not got the good application. Going on. So we're instead just going to be here chilling around, shooting, and not really having the application to hit them. We're just going to be AFKing with our useless Entropic Disintegrator. This guy seems to be pretty quick compared to us because we were webbed a bit, but now our drones have taken out, I think, all the webifying rogue drones. So it seems to be, the speed seems to be increasing. It's nice to see. Okay, almost all the drones destroyed. We're spooling up a bit of damage right here. 400, almost 500 DPS with the Mystic going on. If we're soon in range, I wonder what damage will be with the Mystic when we get in Occult range, actually. I'm quite curious to see what we'll have. I think max DPS on Mystic is like 700 maybe even 800, I'm not sure. Oh. Put to the side, please. Yeah, if we were to take in a wrecking shot, we would have been deep in armor, maybe even structure. So these wrecking shots are really not a good thing when it comes to the Abyss with the shield fit Ikitursa. It's not going to be that great. But I mean, the HP per second is good. The HP per second is good, but just the actual like buffer is not great at all. So we're just going to bleed so much through all our layers of defenses if we take a wrecking shot. It's not going to be a nice thing. So now we're back at DPS that's lower than that 600 we were at before, but we'll quickly come back to it because we've got the nice Occult. 5 minutes left for catastrophic warp field collapse. Unfortunate to see. Would have loved it to be a bit quicker. Let's see now, what is DPS? Soon 600 DPS. There we go, 600 DPS. It's a lot slower with the Mystic. Each cycle is just giving you less DPS with the Mystic. So you start at a lower DPS, You cycle up with less DPS. Overall, a lot slower time. Here it's super speed right here with Occult. Can maybe pull a little bit of range right now. Go towards the transfer conduit perhaps. Move here. Yeah, almost 800 DPS. 800 DPS. That looks pretty nice right there. Almost 900 now. Anytime 900 DPS. Oh, 900 DPS. Oh, 1k DPS just before or just after the Abyssal overmind got destroyed. That was nice right there. We achieved 1k DPS at the very end. Oh, I wish there was a way to make so the initial DPS of the Entropic Disintegrators was higher. I really wish. Maybe lower max spool, but it would just make these Abyssal ships be so much more viable. Or Abyssal fits would be much more viable for Triglavian ships, because it's really annoying how the multiple waves or the multi-target waves just take such a long time in the Abyss with Triglavian ships, with this whole spool up fiasco and everything. But anyway, okay, I think that was alright with the tank, but this is a very expensive fit right here. The Gistex type X large shield booster costs like 1 billion plus. Total fit costs, I think, is 2-3 billion, something like that. Very expensive. You can have a lot better T5 Gamma running ships than this. I was curious to see how well a shield-based Ikitursa would fare. We've got very good shield boosting, however, buffer is not there. I can definitely see us having problems with the buffer if we take big wrecking shots. We took smashing shots right here. Smashing shots, I think, are 3 times, 4 times, I can't remember, but at least 3 times smaller than wrecking shots, so we would have taken a lot of structure damage, a lot of armor damage, or at least a lot of armor damage, maybe a bit of structure damage, but a lot of armor damage. It wouldn't feel comfortable, at least having very expensive ships like this. The DPS increase from 4 Entropic sinks, I mean, it's nice, but I don't think it's worth it for all the cons you get right here. Tracking as well is a bit worse because of us not having a web of fire, so that's pretty unfortunate too right here. We've also not got 2 cap batteries like with the armor fits I've previously used, which gives us very good capacitor warfare resistance or neutralizing resistance. So overall, I think that doing firestorms in an armor-based variant will be a lot better. You get also more applied damage as well due to the reduced thermal resistance. I would probably do that if I were to use the Ikitursa in the Abyss. But still, the Gila just seems so much better. It's just really unfortunate. But that initial DPS increase does so much. Having this spool up DPS overall makes me not so willing to use the Ikitursa in the Abyss. But I think for T4s, an Ikitursa is a good choice, and that's probably what I would be using on Tranquility if I do use it there. It's such a cool looking ship with a really good resist profile that is really good for the Abyss, so I would really love it to be a good Abyss ship. It's just the time it takes to kill stuff is not the best. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video right here. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.